This is a reading of Rafe Coleman, Federal Marshal. And I don't have a representation of the cover to that book. I do have the book, but at any rate, this is just a replacement to have something that's to be looked at that's not whatever. At any rate, I'm operating on a shoestring, can't do much more than what I'm doing. At any rate, with this setup, Rafe Coleman's great-grandfather served as a command took command of a ship and served the crown of Spain. But I'm going to do some stuff here first. I got to do this. Where am I? Die. Yeah. Okay. Get down here and do this one too. That lines up the stuff better. I'm going to come back and do that. That's all messed up. All right. At any rate, he had a land grant in northeast Mexico, below the Red River and the Sabine, I guess it is. At any rate, near where the town of Rusk would later be established, and he had a help in doing it and whatever. But at any rate, when Texas became a republic, a colonel was stationed there, and he was acquainted with Rafe Coleman, and Rayford's father and him, and he needed a scout for his military whatevers, and he took Rayford at the age of 12 to scout for him and hunt for food along with other men and whatever. Rayford was big. By the time he was 12, he was close to 5'10", and the men in that time were not very tall. Very, very few were over 6 foot tall. Then most were way down. But at any rate, Rayford's father brought some Native Americans, Quapaw Indians, to his farm that he inherited from his father, who got it from his grandfather, and married a full-blood Quapaw Indian, lady, woman, maiden. And Rayford was born. She died. And he had mothers that were all Indians also. At any rate, him being half, not looking to be half, but at any rate, he had the features of a Caucasian. The Quapaws were not supposed to be there. They were supposed to be on a reservation. Well, the reservation was done after Rayford's dad established the colony of the Quapaw Indians away from his house so they would be protected. the land was big enough because it was thousands of acres. It wasn't just a little, it was big. And so they were pretty much protected. As it grew in population and the war happened, the Civil War, Rayford was in it. He was wounded several times and was furloughed and got out. He was shot in the head and had a whatever. But anyway, you can read about his actions in Rafe Coleman, Civil War veteran. What you see right there is the second part of his story, Rayford Coleman, Texas Cattleman. And this book, it has 272 pages, 158,946 words. So it's long. At any rate, to protect the Indians, the population there on his farm ranch, he needed to have some intermediate with the coming census. And so he got his son, Rayford Jr., they called him Rafe, appointed to be a federal marshal. Then he was over the census. So then he could guide the census and not have anybody have a problem, because they would have come and taken the people away and forced them to be on a reservation if it became known that they were there. And there were hundreds. There weren't just a few. So anyway, at any rate, this is Rafe's story along with Carlton. Carlton was the firstborn. Rafe was the second born within a week. And Carlton is extremely intelligent, but he is not driven. He went through the process of development that the American Indians use, some of them, not all of them, but some of them, to heighten senses, all senses that a human has. And Rafe was superior. Carlton got through it. He didn't use it much. His clairvoyant facilities, he didn't want to develop because it bothered him. It took away from his learning, being able to read and being able to do what he wanted to do, away from all those things. Rafe embraced it. And Rayford had that ability. Martha, who is Carlton's mother, was probably the best clairvoyant. And I say clairvoyant, images. She saw images and she put them together, and she could understand future events, past events, and whatever. And so that's a part of Rafe's and Carlton's heritage and development, whatever. The process is stringent. It is difficult. It is one that makes a person be able to do all the things that the American Indian did. Some, not all, some. But then anyway, this starts out, Rafe and Carlton are off away from the house, still on the property, but they're working and doing their thing, and they're being as close to manly as possible. But anyway, we start now. This is chapter 1. I think there's 23 chapters in this book. Rafe laughed at Carlton. You said you bargained with Papa to let us leave the farm when we are 15 Why did you choose that age to determine when we might be allowed to leave, and what would our reason be for wanting to leave? Papa may or may not say we can. 3 of our mothers will make his life miserable. Martha will console him privately. Did you choose to allow our mothers? Why did you choose to allow our mothers a chance to say we are too young? I got to change that. Dink, dink, and dink. Okay, that's more better. That has a simple answer. We will be our own men. We will never have anything to call our own by living here as we are now. Papa did as he wanted and joined the army when he was only 12. After the war, he and others hunted men for the bounty money. We have no reason to believe that condition will exist when we are allowed to leave if we cannot leave until we are 21 years old. This is not our land. The house we sleep in is not. The clothes we wear are not. We have nothing we can say is ours because we have not earned it. I want us to have substance and earn whatever we're capable of. 1 year from now, we will both be as big as most of the men who live with us and bigger than some. If you are able to have Billy go with us, Reed might join us. I am certain Chase will. Now, if you read Rafe Coleman, Civil War veteran, Rafe Coleman, Texas cattleman, you'll know these Billy and Reed and Chase and the others. And it's an interesting read. This is all fiction. Everything I've done is fiction. Okay, keep going. I'm certain Chase will. Why? Have you talked to him about leaving? He is too connected to Papa. The memories haunt him. He sees her everywhere, and he suffers from the time it happens, and he has bad dreams when it happens. He will go with us if Papa will allow us to leave. With them helping, we can track the wanted men and subdue them. Papa would not allow it, I am certain. Joe said he might, if enough men with experience go with us and help us. What Papa has done will resonate in his memories, and he may want us to have the same memories. Warm weather is coming. We could work until Thanksgiving and come back to spend the winter. You are ready. You can outdraw anyone on the farm, and I am as accurate shooting a gun or a rifle as you are. I can best you throwing a knife or an axe. We can continue the life we have and develop better than if we are forced to stay here. Mara and Mama will be obstacles, but they know we will do as we wish and sneak off in the dark of night. Papa will take a stand to require us to be prepared when we leave. He will not want us to leave and not be completely prepared. Papa is the reason I think we will be allowed to leave. We must convince him of how fervently we desire to structure our lives without Mara and Mama being told until time for us to leave. They will do everything imaginable to keep us here, including faking illness. Our leaving suddenly is the only way it will be possible. Excuse me a second. I need to check on my progress. And it looks like everything be cooking. It is. Now, I don't have a microphone. I have the microphone in the, it's just a 7. It's not a what they call a smart. Anyway, it's a phone. It serves a purpose. At any rate, okay, let's go. The only way possible. I think I'm about to sneeze. Woo! Do you ever have that problem? Excuse me just a second. I think I got that tickle removed. I'm going to get a little drink here. Thanks for taking patience. That may help too. Our leaving suddenly is the only way it will be possible. That may not be true. It may not be as bad as what you're mentally portraying. How can you say that? Mama has a conniption fit every time we want to work on the other side of the farm because she thinks we'll be too far from her. Mara threatened Papa unless he agreed to allow us to go just before daylight and come back before dark, making us do work close to home. It is as bad and maybe worse, given sufficient time for worse to take on roots and become developed. They plan to keep us here until we turn 21. Papa did not agree to their plan, but he did not take a position to stand against them. We cannot go without his permission. Reed and Chase will help us, I'm certain. I feel we have developed as much as we're able by being here. I feel like we are wasting valuable time by being held here. I think this is Rafe, whatever. I think about how the failure to have Papa give his permission will bolster the objections by our mothers. With the independence we were given to live away from our parents, we have a small amount of freedom now. What will we do if we are made to move back into the house? Imagine that happening. Conjugate from a bit of time and come up with answers and ways to have what we want that will not harm anyone, including you and me. Nothing exists unless we are given communal permission from everyone. You expect to have a blessing from everyone? Come down out of the clouds. All the women will rail against us leaving, fearing that the younger children will want to follow. Even with our promise to keep our brothers in every way, help our brothers in every way we can, it will never satisfy everyone. I see only one way for us to leave or try to leave. It means we can never come back for 8 years, and we may not be welcomed in 8 solitary years. We cannot ask anyone to go with us. The young men will not be welcomed if they go with us and try to come back, and the older men will be vilified as traitors to the family. I cannot leave without telling people. I cannot bear the thought of having the people I care about believing I left them without the slightest consideration. I know that is a given for both of us, and it will not happen. I have a plan that may work for everyone. Complete disclosure to everyone. Rafe stopped and stared at Carlton. This I have to hear. It is just that ludicrous. No, it is not. Just tell everyone we are taking time to be away from the farm, and we will come back after 2 or 3 weeks, with or without permission. If we're going to act as men act, we must begin before we leave. We must make it known and understand that we are only leaving as a learning process and not as an adventure. Whatever we say must be non-specific, but we must have Chase and Reed agree to be the leaders and give Papa confidence that we will only act as it benefits the actions Chase and Reed will initiate. Papa knows our abilities as trackers, and he knows Chase and Reed will need us for that reason. I do not care to eat what another man, other than Papa, has attempted to cook or to make coffee. Rafe smiled. You are the premium at doing both. I am fair, but not even close to being better than you. Even Papa will agree. Carlton bent to take a leather strap from the floor. We will have our own land to farm. Oh, wait a minute. We will have our own land to farm. Woo! I'm going to take this. That shouldn't even be there. I got another land up here. We will own our own land to farm. I'm going to delete. Next year, and have them developed and fully producing. Next in 3 years. will you always want to breed thoroughbreds? Rafe took the strap from Carlton. Our breeding will be world class and buyers will come from all over this world. Great brood mares and great stallions will produce great foals worth their weight in gold. Only the best deserves to have what we produce. That is what I've always wanted, and all I will ever want to concentrate on developing. World-renowned thoroughbreds. I will sell fillies, but never stallions. Either the colts will grow to be breeders, or they will become infertile geldings. I will breed and keep or sell quality horses, or prevent the ones I find to be lacking from ever breeding. Carlton removed the leather apron. I think we should ride over to talk to Reed and then talk to Chase. We may not need to talk to Chase when Reed tells us we are not old enough to leave the farm. He will never say that. He may come up with another reason to stop our leaving, but he will never tell us we're too young to do anything we want to do when he knows we are sincere and determined. Do you honestly believe he will stop us? We are both as tall as most of the men on the farm. We are stronger than most of them. We have a better understanding of the important daily principles and the need for them to exist. Our academic education is greater than most of the men, excluding our family members. Our physical skills have not been challenged by anyone since we were small. Our age seems to be our nemesis. But our 15th birthday will diminish that flaw if it is to be used against us as a point of argument. We should visit Papa to tell him, excuse me, the tickle is back on my nose. I apologize. It's the weather here in East Texas, and we are in Northeast Texas. The pollen and whatever, grass and whatever. But anyway, we can. Okay. Oh God, I lost my place here. We should visit Papa to tell him we will go to work with Reed and get Chase out of the misery of being in his house haunted by memories. We can hunt anytime we like. Rafe removed the leather apron and placed it on the table. We cannot go to Papa and ask to leave. Not now and not next year either. We have done everything on this farm to learn how it is fashioned and maintained, except the management of the larger animals. We should merely move up to management. Being the first sons, you and I are the primary heirs. We should have the needed education to manage the day-to-day processes without supervision. Nobody can argue with that logic. We can work and we can hunt for food and we can visit the towns that are near the Pellinger farm, when the trip will not be an inconvenience and we will not be missed. That much freedom is the next best thing to being able to leave. We should go to work with Reed first and take Chase with us, then go to stay on the Pellinger farm and expand our horizons. You have to exercise caution when you're away from this farm. We know what to do and what not to do. I was thinking more in terms of what other people might do given the opportunity. We will be safe as long as Chase and Billy are with us. We should act in such a manner that we maintain everyone's safety. We can never act as children without a single care when that time comes. I am ready to pack 3 sets of clothes and load up to go. Carlton held his hands with the palms toward Rafe. Practice what you will tell Papa by addressing me. Keep your tone soft. I will play the role of antagonist to help you. Neither will be needed. We will both talk to Papa and act relaxed and confident. Papa cannot always continue to view us as children. Papa will always view us as children, along with our mothers. We are doing the work of grown men for Papa for longer than we are doing the work of grown men for Papa for longer than 2 years. 2 years from now, we will be able to force them to agree to our leaving, but we cannot stay this close to them and hope they will let us go, even when we are 15. Sometimes I want to just disappear. They would follow you and bring you back. You know that. Rafe moved to the door. We are not able to leave. Will that circumstance change in 2 years? We can work and have positions of value until that time comes. That is only true if Reed allows us to work with him. He cannot disregard Papa's order. He can do as he is ordered and give us the lowest menial jobs he can think of. Our positions are superior to his. His position is only subservient to Papa, not to us, and we will be fools to believe differently. Our only recourse is to suffer as we should and learn. That is my purpose and nothing more, to have the resolution I deserve. That equates to 2 more years. Only 2 more years. That is what we'll bargain for today, but only with Papa, and he can smooth the ruffled feathers. We will be putting him in that position without him benefiting. If he had the freedom to go with us, I'm certain he would. Rafe looked down at the floor of the shop. After a fashion, we took that freedom from him. The family, being a family, took it away from him, and we are part of the family. He chose the path he followed. We have the right to choose our own path and follow and develop both physically and mentally. Carlton objected. It was given for him to make a choice, and that is not what our mothers view our rights to be. I will miss them, and I will miss our brothers and sisters. I want more than an existence on the farm. I want a known direction to follow and have a purpose in existing. I do not know what purpose that will be, but I yearn to know. Okay. I believe we will fashion and build through the years to have our purpose. Right now, we need to fashion and formulate a plan that will bring Papa to not only give his permission for us to move, but order us to. Should there be a comma there? No. Rafe smiled. You can always run away to the Eastern farm. We can always run away. We will have an edict from Papa to direct us there eventually. I have high hopes it will be within the latter part of this year. You do not realize that our vernacular becomes stunted when we associate with men who have limited vocabularies. No. Their understanding will be left wanting. We will improve and continue as we are able. Are we ready? As ready as we'll ever be. Rafe opened the door. When we have Papa alone, we'll act and speak slowly and steady. Even casual. We are still seen to be children. We should not act as children act. We both have roles to play, and we must perform as it is expected of us, but we will not act as buffoons to appease our mother's expectations. They resisted the role they were required to perform in our early training, but Papa helped them understand how the training would help us advance in abilities and maturity. Papa is proud of our advances and satisfied with the extent of our training. I intend to use his regard to gain his approval. His consent is the only approval we need, because the women will not defy his wishes. We will have an answer in a few minutes. Clayton is sitting at the table on the front porch, and Nathaniel went inside the house. Our visit will not be a surprise. They silently moved up the steps they silently moved up the steps to the porch. Clayton, big brothers of mine, we need to pull the table away from the wall. Nathaniel went inside to tell Papa you're both here. We have business to discuss with Papa. No matter which or where, Nathaniel and I will go with you when you leave this house, with or without your agreeing. Negotiate for all of us. We have advanced as far as we believe to be possible with the circumstances we labor under. Rafe pushed the chairs away on the left side of the table while Clayton and Carlton moved those on the right side. Pick it up and move it with me. Clayton looked at Carlton. I'll move this side. Carlton smiled. I have missed seeing you every day. That did not interfere with you and Rafe leaving without me. You know why that happened. Papa might have changed the circumstances. Mothers, remember, not this time. Nathaniel and I have already been assured. By Papa, yes. We are going to join Reed to work and manage the cattle. Nathaniel and I have our belongings ready to load in the wagon we will take. Did Papa agree? Yes. You only need to tell him and your mothers. We are not going to agree to be separated again. Boy, that's been building for a while. Oh, excuse me. I thought, no. Okay. Boy, I wish I had a... I know that sounds terrible, but it's the only way to get rid of that tickle. We are only human. And in some cases, weak. Okay. Are you sure the labor will be sent up until sundown? Work designed for men. We are prepared to do all we are able, but we will not attempt to compete with you and Rafe. Rafe shook his finger at Clayton. You neither one can, but it will never be needed. Never be concerned about who is ready to help. We will be close to you. We have always been. Our being away has changed nothing. Rayford stepped out on the porch. Come back after you see your mothers. If you see a tear, look away. This will not be easy for any of us, but it is inevitable for all of us. You will come home after 10 days so your brothers and sisters will know you have not abandoned them, and every 2 weeks after you go back. Under no circumstances will you ever be out of shouting distance from each other. Rafe firmly shook his hand. All for one and one for all. Rayford returned his grip. Always go inside smiling and try to help everyone inside to feel less downhearted. Nothing will help me or them, but you can give them the opportunity to tempt the facade. Are we expected? Your mothers have Your mothers have anticipated this day and the message you bring since the day you took your bundles of clothes and left the house through the back door. All of them are anticipating a complete loss of their child. You will stay together, which means you will all be here for your first visit before 10 days have gone by. You will continue to come for a visit of a 2-day duration on intervals of 2 weeks without variation. The retribution for a travesty, even a small variation, will be most unpleasant. Coming here early for your visit will be welcomed by all. Your mothers are in the kitchen, waiting for both of you. Assure them of your intentions, of your caring. We will be in the new house when you come back, with rooms for everyone. Carlton grasped Rayford's hand. Shared rooms? It is a large house, but not a palace. Go now. Clayton pulled a chair to him and sat at the back of the table. This will be the first time we've been allowed to leave our family. Rayford drank the tea and placed the glass on the table. My first was in the company of 6 Army enlisted men who were encouraged to join by different law enforcement officers. They were undisciplined and ill-educated. They took pleasure in attempting to embarrass me and made detrimental comments about my situation during the journey. The 6th day, my patience was worn to the point that I decided to end the abuse and challenged a lot of them to best me or suffer if the task proved to be too much for them. A brute of a man climbed down and placed his hat on the pommel. He blustered, "You will have no excuse for the beating you're about to take. You ask for what you will get, and I will gladly give it. You are not a man, and you don't deserve our respect. You do deserve a lesson. Come here." I dropped the reins, jumped from the horse, and ran toward him. He balled his fist and positioned his body to meet what he thought to be my foolish rush. As I approached, he drew back his right fist and prepared to strike me with all his strength. The blow found only thin air. As I ducked, turned my body away from his, moved around to stop in the position facing his back, and kicked him in the crook of his leg with the sole of my new boot. He turned and grabbed my left wrist. I struck him in the center of his chest with my ball fist and heard the wind leave his body. Grimacing, he moved his left hand to grip my neck and moved his right hand to grip the left side of my neck and pressed his thumbs into my throat, intending to stop my breathing. His face was turning a deep shade of red as he continued trying to pull air into his lungs. I interlaced my fingers and brought them up to strike him under his protruding jaw and broke his hold with my arms by violently pushing his arms up as I inflicted the blow to his jaw. I felt and heard the bones in his left forearm break. Nathaniel asked, "Did the encounter end at that point?" He tried to hit me, but I pulled down on his left wrist hard. The bones were reset, and he screamed from the pain. Cradling his arm with his right hand, he backed away from me. He softly uttered, "This ain't over." "It is over today. Whatever happens in the future is on you. This should be a lesson well learned for all of you. You have not had the training I have endured. You believe your bulk and strength would make you victorious. You were wrong in believing I am an easy target due to my youth. None of you should make the mistake he made. You will suffer from that decision as he is suffering. Both bones in his arm are fractured. Riding his assigned horse will be painful. I can wrap the arm to immobilize it. Nothing short of the arm being held inside a cast will prevent the pain he will suffer from riding his horse until we arrive at our destination." Clayton asked, "Did that stop the abuse?" "It did with those men. There were other times when their numbers did not allow me to defend myself. Those days are in the past. I had good days and days that were not so good. The good days were in the majority. I had commanding officers that appreciated my talents, and that caused problems at times. Being a favorite can be cause for jealousies. I relive some of those days from time to time. Guilt is never easy to overcome. Self-loathing is easy to recognize and correct. Regret never leads to correction or retribution, but we are human and we question if something could have been done in a different way than how it happened. Leaving the past to take care of itself is always the best resolution. Study a situation to be able to understand the final outcome and act as you feel to be best for everyone who should be concerned. Keep yourself safe from harm and remain able to help those who need your help. You did not always follow that wisdom. You will never be faced with the choices I was forced to make." Rafe and Carlton quietly stepped over the threshold onto the porch to come outside. "Did you leave your mothers in a mood I will be able to live with?" Carlton moved to stand at the steps. "They are happy that you are not going with us. I would if it was possible. Too many people depend on my being here. Each of you know what you should do and what you should avoid doing. Choose wisely and with careful study and consideration. Be sure you are right before you do anything, by preparing for what may happen ahead of the time to make a decision. Lead and you will never fall victim to the foolishness of another man. Answer to no man. Even read and chase, no man. Listen to what they instruct you to do on the farm, but do the task as you see to be proper and tell them when you think a better way exists or is needed. The farms will be yours one day. Act the part now. without boasting or being openly raised up in your pride. Be whatever is needed for the success of the farm and for your successes. Yes, sir. Exercise patience when you know it is needed. Act as it may be warranted. You will know what to do when the time comes. Carlton motioned for Nathaniel Clayton. Your belongings are just inside. Your belongings just inside the door. Bring them out after you tell your mothers that you will be here in 10 days and every 2 weeks after that. That is one of the conditions that allows us to leave. We have time to talk about the other conditions later. Rafe will help me hitch a team to a wagon and put your belongings in it. We will leave before first light in the morning. At least make an effort to seem sad that you're leaving. Did you pack books for all of us to be able to study? You both have a few with your belongings. You can take more with you when we leave next time. They will always be on the farm and be available for others to have. The following morning, Rayford sat in a chair drinking from a glass of tea until Rafe and Carlton brought the wagon. Load the wagon and leave before the women come outside. Protect each other and see that you all have proper hygiene and adequate rest. Eat well and drink through the day to keep your strength in optimal range. Be mindful of your health. 10 days from now, an early arrival might be appreciated. A 3-day visit instead of a 2-day visit might benefit everyone. You will all be missed. Remember that fact. You each have a place in the family. Remember that fact. People are concerned about you. Remember that fact. Take care and have a safe trip there and back. You are loved. Remember us every day. Go now. Neither of them spoke as they climbed into the wagon. Ray flicked the reins to start the team and drove by the houses to the gate leading into the planted field. We will have an abundance of vegetables this year on all of the farms. Nathaniel leaned forward and looked at Rafe. Have you talked to men to learn about what is happening on all the farms? Carlton said almost every day someone has talked to us about news of the farms. They want us to remember them and give them considerations when we're in charge of assignments. They are not considering the time lost between now and that day, should it ever come. Most people know that Papa was wounded many times, and they may assume he will not live to see an advanced age. I hope we never see the day that he is not on the farm with us. I know that's not a possibility, but it's still my wish. Do you have some foreboding about you dying early? I only wish to have Papa live through my life. I know it is not possible. We were born late in his life. That is the determining factor. I wish it was not so, that's all. I will miss the family while we are away. Carlton said we will all miss them. It is enough to only say that once and not make it worse, but continually talking about it and dwelling on it. Oh. Well, that should be by instead of but. So I'm going to take this over here and do this and go dink dink and go dink and say, now, Carlton said we will all miss them. It is enough to only say that once and not make it worse by continually talking about it and dwelling on it. I am not certain how I will handle the emotions I'm feeling, and I wonder what more may come. You and Ray spent time away from home. How did you adjust? We concentrated on each other and doing the work we were assigned and thought about the family members when we had quiet time. Plus, we were able to visit them when we wanted. We learned how badly the family members were hurt by our leaving that night. I will regret not telling them again. I want to see them, and they demand that we visit. I got to do something. I'm having a problem with my nose. Sorry about that. I do apologize. I want to see them, and they demand that we visit and visit often, even to come without them expecting us. We should, and I say we should, because Papa was adamant about us staying together. One of us cannot leave the others even to visit our family. We will abide by his wishes, as we promised to do. Clayton looked at the horizon. I imagine retribution for one of us not doing as his wishes will be most unpleasant. Oh, not one of us would be able to bring our eyes up to see his disappointment, should that ever happen. Nathaniel looked down at the rear of the team. What would happen with our mothers would be worse. The four of them would make our lives miserable with what they insist our actions to be limited as they desire. Rafe gently shook the reins on the back of the horses. Nothing of the sort will happen, and we will bring happiness to all of our family members when we visit them. That will give us happiness in return. Clayton pushed his elbow into Rafe's ribs. And freedom to continue bettering our lives. We have about 5 hours of daylight remaining. I vote that we load the wagon with our belongings and spend the night on the way under the wagon. The cattle are... They've already loaded the wagon. Oh, they're going to their... Okay. They're going to the house where they were staying before. The cattle are being worked and everyone will be up by daybreak. We can be there before the noon meal. Carlton and I worked late evenings on plans to modernize the process of working the cattle by building catch pens and gates to separate the bulls, cows, mothers, and calf pairs, dry cows, weaned heifers, bull calves, and steers to facilitate the necessary applications and ease the workload the different crews have been doing. What will we do if the plans are not accepted? Carlton stiffened. Who owns this farm? Papa does. Who represents the Coleman family? We do. Rafe looked ahead. And we will. We will act as may be needed without being bullies, and we will not be deterred. What will be done will ease the hard labor drovers have done for more than a century. Our belongings are ready to be loaded into the wagon. That will not take the four of us long to do. We will have a fire, eat prepared food for our evening meal, and have the same for breakfast on the way in the morning. We will first be instructed on the phases of work the cattle herd to learn all we can about managing the cattle operations in the future and gather hints of the intricate points that may not be mentioned. Nathaniel asked, what might they be? Excuse me a second. Okay, looking good. What may they be? The small things like fences and facilities and general husbandry practices. Those things a common laborer may not have a vast understanding. Those things a common laborer. Okay. It is our mission to learn all we can, using whatever means we may need, and to make improvements where they may help. Easing antiquated labor practices will be my focus. Papa has allowed the cattle operation to continue in the same manner for the last 5 years because it has continued to be profitable. We have the ability to make suggestions about new practices or even implement practices that will improve the operations or increase the profits. What we do if someone takes offense about what might be seen as interfering with their daily work life? We were not given instructions about dealing with personal confrontations. Except to attempt to use diplomacy and not injure a valued laborer. Nothing was mentioned about our being injured. Using a gun on another farm inhabitant is strictly forbidden. but defending another person's life is a specified exception. We know how to show respect for the use of a gun and for another person's life. It is time to stop for the night. We do not have wood for a fire, and we should not use the lanterns more than a few minutes. We have grain for the horses, and they will graze. They have grass to graze. We are safe here, or we will be assigned what might be called guard duty. Watering the horses before we feed them and after they finish eating, and digging a latrine hole, the only duties we need to perform. Clayton followed Carlton, leaving the wagon. Will we have what we need for personal hygiene? We will be away from beds and bathrooms most of the time. A bunkhouse may be within riding distance, but that will not have bathing facilities. A whore bath will be the replacement for a normal tub bath. You can do that at the rear of the wagon. The only people who may see your naked behind will be the men who should not have even a passing interest. It may be that the men we will work with have not seen us before. They will not care who we are until they are told. We are not held in the lofty regard that Papa is. Most of the older hands will believe we are to be tolerated. I have no problem with their attitude toward us unless it is exhibited as disrespectful. When we are disrespected, Papa is too. I will not allow that to be done. I will end it verbally or physically if it is needed. Will you injure a valuable laborer? If that is the only possible alternative, an antagonist must be managed. Hobble the horses when we take them out of the hitch. I will dig the latrine hole and one of you can cover it tomorrow morning. We will have the team hitched and leave before daylight. Nathaniel protested, we are not able to see to guide the horses without moonlight. All the horse need is a gentle urging to begin moving. They will set a pace that matches the pace we allow them to maintain today. We are not able to see clearly in the darkness like they are, and they will stop at the gate should we arrive there before daylight allows us to see where it is. Are we near the location of the gate? With my best calculation is at least 3 miles from here. That is only a calculated guess. We will not find the location where we work on the cattle is being done until the day after tomorrow, but we will camp near a stream with wood to have for a fire and warm meal tomorrow night. If we are diligent and have success finding fresh tracks or an abundant rabbit population, roasted rabbit, boiled potatoes, and boiled cabbage will surely hit the spot. Carlton smiled. We brought the spices we will need to flavor our food for the next month. We may be forced to live in an antiquated existence, but we can make adjustments. Okay. I gotta have another situation. Okay. Hang on a second. Carlton is the cook. Rafe said, imagine the existence our great-grandparents had. We have so much more, and our lives improve with every passing day. From stories about their lives being told by people who lived back then, nothing much ever changed for them until they came to live on this land. Nathaniel leaned forward to place his elbows on his legs and cupped his chin in his hands. You and Carlton are able to visit the elders and learn from them after you left the house. The rest of us never had that chance. We told you to be assertive and come with us. We were not aware that you would have everyone helping you. We all thought you would be doing everything for yourselves, and Papa told us that our mothers needed to know we were safe and well cared for. That's why we thought you would be alone and without help. We did not know the people would help us as they did. We only knew our lives would be improved by leaving the house. We did not know how or how much. The elders told us to gain more growth by leaving. We had no idea what they meant at the time we were told. Papa did, and he encouraged us with subtle hints, without actually telling us what we should do. He knew what our best course of action should be. I am happy that we chose to leave the confinement of the house. I am happy that Carlton chose to come with me, and I wish both of you had also. We learned and developed so much more than the restrictions of living in the house could have afforded us, and we applied every lesson to gain development. Can you pass those lessons on to me and Clayton? If you will be open to learning and applying the basic principles. Clayton pushed his elbow against Carlton. We have not had a private time talk about what happened 2 years ago, for the two of you and the two of us. We are the same age, yet you and Rafe were given freedoms that Nathaniel and I were denied. We were forced to accept what Papa wanted, and we never understood, even now. Do you know why that was done? It is only my belief, but the four of us were not all going to be allowed to leave. I think rather than know it to be a matter of fact that Papa manipulated our mothers to allow me and Carlton to leave and keep your mothers happy by his refusing to allow the two of you to go with us. Our education has always been his sternest demand. The prospects of academic development for me and Carlton was growing less as time passed. You and Nathaniel continued with the same level of interest you have always maintained. Carlton and I wanted to focus on anatomy and dentistry. We were able to do that even when we changed housing so many times to experience the different phases of the working processes of the farm. We were educated about management by observing and labored by doing the work as it was intended. You and Nathaniel have that opportunity now without the restrictions of your family members. When we are with them again, we cannot speak to any of them about what we are doing when we are away from them. Give some reply that misleads them without telling a complete untruth. Before sundown, Carlton pointed ahead. See that wide spot at the road? It has a fair amount of grass that the horses can graze, if we tie them to a stake and let them move in a wide circle through the night. If we hobble them, one might break a leg if he gets down in one of the bordering irrigation ditches. Stop the wagon before we get to the grass. Nathaniel and I will hold the horses while they are unhitched. We will each drive an iron rod into the ground to tether the horses for the night. I will tell the lot of you good night and be up before daylight and get started. I have imagined the hot meal we will have tomorrow night since Rafe described it to us. Nathaniel opened his eyes and saw the horses in the moonlight. We should all be up and preparing to leave. Carlton stood beside the wagon at the water barrel. Everyone but you is ready. Everyone but you already is. After Rafe has a latrine hole covered, we will remove the feed bags, hitch the horses, water them, and start moving west. Ooh. I had imagined them going east, but anyway, they're going west. We will have responsibility for opening and closing a gate because it swings toward the side of the wagon you will be sitting on. That will probably be the highlight of my day until dinner time finally comes. You had the convenience of prepared meals yesterday. Rafe and I did not. Dinner will be enjoyed by each of us. Roll up your bed in the ground cloth and place it in the wagon. Was I snoring? None of the brothers snore. That would be a danger when we need to be unobserved. We have heard talk of how many of our early family members were surprised and killed because they gave away their position by snoring. It may be that the root cause of snoring was eliminated by aggressive enemy attacks that continually happened to the early people. Their lives were never peaceful or easy, not like our lives have been. It is true that we have had privileged lives. Hang just a second. I got to check. Never know when the thing's going to shut off. Okay. It's still running. Okay. Can you think of anything that was considered reasonable that we ever wanted and it was unreasonably denied? Not that was unreasonably denied. Many times Papa or Mama explained why it was not beneficial for it to be given to me. I never have felt belittled by something not being given to me. Isn't that a sign of privilege? I suppose it is an indication. I never had an occasion to measure what we had against what another boy of our age had or that he lacked. You and Rafe had experiences with the farm people that gave you knowledge that Clayton and I were not exposed to. We were not allowed to mix with the people. That was true of Rafe more than me. He had the respect of the people that I was forced to earn. I grew to a point of being ready to meet a physical challenge with an overpowering force. Young men need to prove they are capable. The contest did not go well for the majority of those who tried. I helped many of the young men impress a maiden who they desired. I have no doubt that many of the young maidens had a desire for you or for Rafe. We were not a consideration for them, and we were not inclined to initiate a romantic advance that could only culminate in our being bound for life. Not even as an open friendship. Rafe pointed a finger at Clayton. That does not exist for our people. A young man shows his interest in a maiden, and according to her exhibiting her approval or not, he trades with her father for her, or he goes his directed way. If the approval is given, they are paired, and a feast is prepared to signify the culmination of the agreement. An elder officiates a ceremony, and the deal is official for both of them. Both of the men. Both of the men? Yeah. Okay, whatever. The man gets a wife, and the father gets whatever he has bargained to have in exchange for his approval of the marriage. It is all very solemn, very serious, and very final. He is her master, but even in his vaunted state, he must provide for her according to her approval. That is not a matter either Clayton or I will ever tolerate. Papa has the life he desired to have. I do not want a life partner is like some of the women in Papa's life. Even your mother, especially not in any way, shape, or fashion like my mother. She has always been afraid that something would happen to Papa, and they all made demands on his freedom. I will not have that. Then you will never be married. That is yet to be seen, but I suppose it will not happen until I am much older. Like Papa was older? No, even older, I believe. Okay, that was chapter 1. This is chapter 2. I'm going to fluff my cushions a little bit, see what the process is. Hope everything is copacetic, whatever. If you're not familiar, the face you see on that representation is Jim Bridger. He was a famous mountain man, woodsman, mean dude. He was not somebody to be trifled with. And you can see it from his looks. He was wide. He had the build that I fashioned Rafe from. He's a beast. At any rate, he had a lot of fun too, whatever. All right, chapter 2. Nathaniel stood by the gate when Rafe drove the wagon through the opening. I can see dust coming from where the hands are working the herd. Carlton shaded his eyes from early morning sunlight. We will not take the wagon close to the work site and have it and us covered with dust. We will go around and find the compound where we will live and find Chase. I want to see how the work is being done and have an understanding of how the labors may be lessened with improved performance of each of the work phases. He may come with us to keep us away from causing problems. We will rope and brand and help with handling whatever problems might be encountered. Oh, excuse me a second. Good tea. Red Diamond tea. I really enjoy it. Not supposed to have it, but anyway, you know how it is. Supposed to drink water and nothing but water. We have designs that may help facilitate the labor needed to accomplish those tasks using less labor. Are we going to experience the positions of a working cowhand? You can if you like. I want to see the labor reduced for the men and for the herd. Do you have a plan? We have plans and drawings. We did not tell Papa about all of them in case they prove to be less than desirable. It is probable that will be the end result. Wait until you see the drawings. We will start the construction process and make adaptations as the pins and chutes are being built. Chase needs an interest that will help him concentrate more on the present and let the past fade little by little. I hope he will be able to help us from the start to the finish. I hope he will work with us and renew his perspective of normal living. Carlton agreed. He needs to move everything from the house he is living in and start a new life. Will we be able to convince him that we need his help? We need to convince him that his is the only help we need. How do we do that? After we are established, we will show him our drawings of the catch pins and chutes and see what his interest is in building them. You want to allow him to conclude that we need his help? Okay, that should have a question mark. Oh, I can't find the cursor. There you go. And that's success. Do you have a plan to move him in that direction? I have a letter from Papa to Chase that we all hope will move him in that direction. First, we need to move him out of the house he's living in and let the bad memories fade by keeping him busy doing the work he will find purpose and satisfaction in doing. He lost so much desire when she died. We will not speak her name. We will not speak of anything that brings old memories back to him. We will help him find hope in his life to come. That is easily said. It may not be so easy to do. It will be if we help him live his life day to day, day to day. Tomorrow always has a promise of bringing something new and exciting. Am I to understand that our mission is to bring Chase to a better feeling about living and not just existing as he has been doing? That is only a small part of what we are tasked to do. Learning how the farm operates, incorporating new work methods, and preparing to be able to manage the farm when it is needed. Chase will exercise an integral part in our development of those skills. Clayton said, I thought we were coming here to have more freedom to study. Rafe flicked the reins on the back of the team. Our main goal is to become able managers in all phases of the different farms' operations. All phases? What does that mean? If I have basic recall, Papa said it will not be done standing on the porch of the house to tell other men how to manage. It will be for each of you to do hands-on practices. You can quote me with those words to anyone who you may impart to them. I am supposed to direct Reed and Chase and Marvin and many other men who have lived and worked on this farm and told other men what their duties were. Them and many other men and women, as it becomes necessary. Papa has always been the one who gave instructions to the different section bosses. The established methods have not been improved. We will endeavor to make suggestions of how improvements can be done, or we will institute the new methods without allowing objections. Can we do that? Did Papa give us permission? Birthright gave us permission, but so did Papa. Are we getting closer to the work area, or has the wind increased? A rider waved for them to stop as he approached the wagon. What are you doing here? Rafe stiffened. We are surveying our land. How is this land? I am Rafe Coleman, and these three are my brothers. Who are you? Bryce Palmer is my name. What are you doing? I hope you don't mind my asking. Our destination is the home of Chase Denman. I'm riding the fence, but I can take you to Chase if you like. That is not necessary. Continue with your duties. Have you been to his house before? No, but we know the location. Pardon my asking. How will that help you find it? Latitude and longitude. I don't know what you're talking about. The world is measured by lines of latitude and longitude. With the coordinates known, finding a location is simple. Can you teach me about them? Are you able to read? Only a little. I will find you after we find where we will stay. I'll be in the community house after we knock off. Will I be able to know where I am by using your way? Within a reasonable conclusion. I've heard about sailors following a hidden path by using lines that measured the world. That is true of travelers on land also. It will be useful to know how to do it. Will you have time to teach me? If you have the desire to learn. Can all of you teach me? We are all able. Will you have time at night sometime? Finish your work today and find us to have dinner. Am I allowed to do that? Who owns this farm? Rafe Coleman. Who are their heirs? The Coleman brothers. Does that answer your question? Do you mean now and forever? Now and forever, yes. I don't have nice clothes. Are they clean? Wear them and come to dinner with us. I will, thank you. You have knowledge we want to learn. I don't think it'll take very long for you to learn all I know. Practical applications of all you know about this farm and the workings of it. Seriously? Indubitably. I don't know what that means. You will do in the coming months. You and men like you are the reason we are here. I'm your age. I'm 17. I'm not a man yet. The men make fun of me and laugh at me. They are jealous of you because you want to improve, and they probably cannot. I wish they would stop and let me read and learn more. Are they interfering in that matter? What are you saying? I don't understand. Are they stopping you from learning? They took the book I was reading. Does Chase know about it happening? I can't tell anyone. They will hurt me during the night like they did before. Who are the men who hurt you? I can't tell you. The others will do it again. Will you come with us, please? I have to. You're the boss. Good. Take the lead and keep pace with the team. You know where we are going. Excuse me. I got a tickly nose. Rafe waited until Bryce was in a position to ride beside the lead horse. I'm mad through and through. I am not certain what we do, but men hurting a defenseless person is a criminal act, and it happened with Reed and Chase within a stone's throw where it was done. Carlton said, I agree, but we need to have knowledge of all that has happened and what is probably going to happen. Not us. Reed and Chase will right the wrong and determine if more problems exist. Men acted criminally, and other men did not stop them. I want justice for Bryce, and I intend for him to have it in a grand measure. As they approached the buildings, Bryce slowed his horse and was beside Nathaniel. Some of the houses are empty. Do you want one close to Chase? All the houses around Reed's house have people staying in them. We want a house that is away from other houses. Our schedule will be set by us. and you're going to be with us with the cattle operations and other parts of this farm and the other farms too if you want to stay with us. I do. What if someone says I can't? Nobody will, because nobody has the authority. Pick a suitable house, gather your possessions to bring them to the house. We will want to have a bed for each of us. Which house is your choice with that specification? Follow me. He stopped his horse before he entered the row of houses and turned to face the wagon. With all of us living in one house, I think it'd be wise to use 3 houses so everyone will have hot water for taking a bath. Do any of you shave? I have patches of peach fuzz that I scrape off every other day. None of us shave, not even peach fuzz. Is that because your people have Indian breeding? It is not. You will eventually learn we are not old. We're not as old as you believe us to be, not even near your age. Which one of you isn't? We are the same age. I don't understand. You're so much bigger than me. Advanced genetics. Huh? Our parents are larger than average people. But you're brothers. Are you full brothers? Our father is Rayford. Our mothers are 4 different women. That fact was given to you as a sacred trust. Will you keep my trust? Forever, I promise. For you to remain safe, it must be. I understand. Thanks for trusting me. I gave you that trust because we will assign you the position of operations director of a new facility we'll have built. You will supervise the overall construction as procurement and building specialist. You will have the responsibility of assigning labor tasks and have the lead men understand the consequences of the labor being delayed or stalled to the point of being non-existent. What we will do is not at this time well defined. Plans have been made and drawings have been done. Sketches is a better description. I cannot tell you exactly what you will do because I have only a faint idea of what will be needed, and the project was my brainstorm in its inception. With Carlton and Papa helping, it has grown. With everyone working together and helping, it will be completed. Trust that we will never heap on you more than you are able to manage, and one of us will always be close for you to have a clarification. Will you accept the position? I will, with my thanks. You will earn your compensation. My what? Compensation, the wage you will earn for a job well done. I think I need a dictionary. Your only need is association education. You will have both. The experience will be educational for all of us. Chase came around the closest house. What will be educational for everyone? How are you? I am much better since the 5 of you are here. Please answer my question. I was enlightening Bryce on the process he will be subject to while he is with us. Will he be with you? With us. With you included as a total of us. We have a labor-saving project for you to approve. You know that is for Rayford to do. We represent Papa. I see. What does that have to do with me approving the project? I actually misspoke. The details you need to input and final approval before we all start the construction. It is becoming interesting with the mentioning of construction. What is the project specifically? Working cattle pens and chutes with head restraints. We will only use horses to push the cattle into the catch pens to be sorted out to match the chutes with the head restraints. A revolving center control gate will be the key. Does it interest you? Absolutely. Where are the drawings? Bring them to my house and have dinner with me. We need you to live with us because this project will be from the time that we can until the time that we can't, and the amenities need to be centrally located. We will inhabit 3 houses, which will have 2 men sharing each of them, but meals will only be served in one of the houses, and everything will be closely scheduled if it is possible. If I am fully understanding what you are planning, the work being done with the cattle herd should continue with a reduced crew, and most of the laboring men will be brought to the location to begin locating the positions of the controlling fence posts. This plan explains the stockpiles of lumber that started being delivered this morning and will continue being delivered through the day and into the day late tomorrow. It seems that the project has been approved. We told Papa about our ideas and showed him the sketches. The ideas have quality, or the supplies would not be stored here and continue to be brought here. Rayford chose the location. We should begin building early tomorrow morning. Many more men will be needed. I believe they will be here. Through Papa requisitioning them, a list of items and a single request was all the order required. You are like your father. People listen to both of you. You have a commanding presence that few men exhibit in even the slightest manner. It was derived in our early training and one form of our overall developed strength. I have no understanding of that process except your mothers objected to it being done to children so young. Our early development gave us an understanding of principles and concepts that helped us in our later physical and mental development. I cannot explain in greater detail. I can't either, but your brothers do not measure up to you in abilities. You should not expect either of them to match you in physical strength or mental acuteness. When did you develop such a broad vocabulary? I am impressed, especially when it seems you have abilities you have kept hidden for so long. When I first came here, Rayford suggested I find subject that interested me. He allowed me to take books from the house and had me assist with patient care. Reading has been consoling since that time. Worlds without end can be found in reading. Have you kept a skilled edge using handguns? Habits and available time to exercise demand and allow. I often visit friends who have contact with state law enforcement officials. We are isolated from the lawless elements due to our location and size of our well-armed and able population. The farms need more men to work and protect them because the workforce population does not increase. Men come to work, find the work or circumstances to be troublesome, and they leave. We need men who can manage the men who stay to do the work needed work. How concerned are you? Excuse me. Wow. I'm not comfortable with what I'm doing, so anyway, it's making me sleepy. We have about half the number of capable men that are needed. The corrals and chutes will reduce the number of men required to do the work being done on the cattle herds, and building new areas to house the different age groups will ease the labor to a less diverse and specific need. Separate pastures for a less generalized herd. That is a wonderful prospect. How much regulation will we use? Specialized individual management in entirety with separation as may be feasible. More management and less labor. That has been a need for too many years. It is coming with your guidance. That is something none of us are going to be sure about. How much input will the Coleman brothers have? We are tasked with learning how the different farm operations are managed and to modernize them to better efficiency and workability. Papa is the only authority, and we will do and act as he wishes. We would all be happy that he never steps down, but that is not possible. It is for the time being as it is required. It is not as simple as you just stated. The four of you are Coleman heirs. The men will show their gratitude and their respect. You cannot mingle with the working men. We have every intention of doing just that in building the working pens and chutes. Nobody will do more work than me. You will be a terror when you reach maturity. Underestimating what Carlton, Clayton, and Nathaniel are capable of doing would be a mistake. They do not have your size or strength. They are their father's sons. Take the place you need to be in to supervise and watch what happens. Do not be concerned about their safety or their needs. They are sons of their father. Watch and appreciate it. Rayford stands at 6'4". You are close to being 6 foot tall, and you have at least 7 or 8 years of growth. It would maybe many more. Old Abe was 6'3", but he was not as muscular as you. Will all of you use gloves to protect your hands? My problem is the size of normal gloves. You will find that gloves of all sizes have been delivered. Papa? He has always been a great provider for his people. He cannot leave the family or he would come here to be with us. I wish for it to be done, and so does he. The family demands his presence. Everyone in our family and our extended families. We will not be a burden for him to be given a bad report, and we will return to be with the family following consecutive 10-day periods. We will require freshly saddled horses to be available along the route taking us home. It will be done when is needed, both going home and coming back. We will all miss being with our family, but other needs must be met. Our obligations are stringent and restricted. You have never had a normal childhood. Family expectations have overruled what normally happens in a young person's life. A person cannot be unhappy when it is not known what should be normal. I feel that I have missed nothing and gained so much more than what is considered to be normal. None of us are normal. Starting with Papa and what happened in his younger life. He made sacrifices far beyond what we ever will. He sacrificed his childhood for our people. We can do no less for him and for them. Will you take Rayford's place at the needed time? Carlton, Clayton, Nathaniel, I will form a quorum, with none of us standing in his place. We will be directors. I will have a place of my own with crops and livestock. I will act to garner the funds needed to build my own farm and home as you and Papa did in the same manner. You will collect bounties. Nobody is better equipped. It is a harsh and lonely existence. Would you say it will be small sacrifice to have my own land and home? Only if you make a place for me. Come with me and my brothers. The mothers will not allow it to be done for many years. With proper planning, we will be able to use the information the local lawman will give, make the capture, take the captives to sheriff in the closest town, and be back on the farm before it is time for the brothers to do our dutiful family visit. I cannot be a part of your plan without permission. Will you and Reed take a leadership role if we have permission? Defy what I think to be true, and we will discuss what might be done after the pens are defy what I think to be true, and we will discuss what might be done after the pens are built on each of the farms. If you, Billy, and Reed take the lead and 8 trusted men agree to come with us, we will be operational by the beginning of spring. Early grasses will give forage for the horses. That will be a great help. Planning and execution should be the goals for every man as a group, not as individuals. That is the most important aspect for you to keep in your mind as a leader. You and Reed and Billy will lead. We will follow. Rayford is well known by the lawmen in this area. You have a resemblance to him that is unmistakable. Rayford will demand that the 4 brothers be well protected and select who will lead, who will organize, who will cook, and how the captures are to be done given every occurrence that may possibly happen. Reed and I are the most experienced at executing the early earlier actions we took to be successful. He will not allow the brothers to ever be threatened. All of you must realize the stand he must take to allow you four to go with us. Your mothers must not ever know that it is the four brothers who want to continue doing what we started so many years ago. They believe it to be too dangerous, be a dangerous operation when it is not. Surprise was our way to capture the criminals, and we never lost a man. We will not have a battle, ever. We will not give the criminals a chance to harm even one man. We will use the old tactics, and everyone will come home safe from harm. You are needed to represent us as the oldest son of Rafe Coleman. The respect and fear that brings to the local lawmen when you meet cannot be underestimated. It will make our work so much easier and completely remove the tendency of the lawman to attempt to fool or cheat us. Reed or I could not act the part. You have no need to pretend and act. Every one of the local men you meet will have their attitude change when they learn who you are. Excuse me a second. The situation will become serious, and they will become serious and ask how they may be of service. You will never need to ask for their help. They will gladly give it, hoping you will mention it to Rayford. How will they know what I tell them is true? Anyone can say they're a son of Rafe Coleman. A man who is not the son of Rafe Coleman will take the chance that he could be proven not to be by him being taken to stand face to face with Rayford. No sane man wants that to happen to him. Get settled in your new home, and I will have dinner brought to the table. I want to see the plans after we finish the meal. Do you want Reed to come to see the plans? The plans are not actually plans, just sketches of the different segments. We will measure the dimensions as we build and record them to use in building later. I'll have the women bring the food in 25 or 30 minutes. We will all have a bath during the interval and be ready. Do the women take their meals with you? They have families. Then we should be quick about our bathing to allow them to have time with their families. It will be appreciated, I'm certain. Leave the door open and the screen door unlocked. What will we do for breakfast and lunch? We will only be a short distance from the houses. The women will have our meals prepared and served in the house you choose. We will use 3 houses to bathe and keep our extra clothes in, but we will all sleep in the main house. It seems they have unloaded their possessions from the wagon. I should remove mine and take the team to the corrals at the stable. You will find dishes and utensils in the kitchen. I imagine that will be patterned after the placements in your home. We will have the places arranged on the table for the meal when the women bring the food, including one for you and one for Reed, should he be able to have dinner with us. I'm certain he will delight in being with all of us during the meal or after. He may have domestic obligations. Excuse me a second. I got to check on stuff. Oh, boy, that's a help. At any rate, I got to see what's going on with my stuff. Okay. Oh, got to turn the page. Okay, obligations. None of us are comfortable being in the presence of women. We will need to be educated somehow. The girls your age will make their desires known when they decide it's time for them to show their interest. All you need to do is recognize the signs. We are able to read signs with great proficiency, but not when they are being presented without a viable print. She will make her desires known. Women are the aggressors when it comes to matters of the heart. You will know what their intentions are. They will make them known without a single doubt on your part. Be honest and talk to her without allowing her to misunderstand, or you may be trapped. The people on this side of the farm are mostly Quapaw. Be warned. Their traditions and understandings are not always as ours may be. Do not allow yourself to be alone with anyone. That is all I can advise you about. I have no plans to interact with anyone who might misunderstand the meaning of my words. We are here to learn how the systems of the different parts of the farm function. That is our task and nothing more. He knowingly smiled. Courting is many years from now for the four of us. We have plenty of time to learn about the wiles women use to fool a man who is unaware of what her purpose might be. You can never start too early. Dodging a bullet by moving my body out of the path is easier than attempting to stop the bullet with my outstretched hand. A man better know what is involved before he begins any action. I will leave you with that thought. I will not hurry. All of you should. Excuse me. God. Oh. Okay. We'll be dressed and prepared for dinner and for the evening. Bring what you need to spend the night with us. We will be up late tonight. And begin working on the project early tomorrow with everyone involved. You're going to change my whole life by moving me out of the past. Is that your purpose? My purpose is to do the best I can do to help everyone improve in every way we are possibly able, including you. The practices that are being employed are the same as when the farm became a modern operation after Papa came here from the war. Techniques are possible to change all of that. Techniques are possible to change all of that and help build. Okay. I'm going to change this a little bit. Okay. New techniques. New techniques are possible to change all of that and help build the farms and ease the efforts of the labor still being used. Papa wants everyone who can contribute to step up and speak up. Nobody knows if a person's idea that some assume to be of no use may be embraced and expanded. All of what we have drawings for were not born of a single thought. The four of us collaborated. Nathaniel and Clayton did not understand what Carl and I were planning, but they contributed. Watch how they work tomorrow. It will be as if they were the original designers because they will see where we used their ideas and suggestions. I will be back in 15 minutes after I bathe and dress for dinner. I'll bring 2 or 3 war bags. Everything we need to sleep tonight is freshly done inside the houses. Rafe took Bryce by his upper arm. If you will, go to the bunkhouse and pack your things, but first come with us to locate the house we will stay in. You can bathe after you come back to the house. Act as if you have been a part of our family all your life. Reed knocked and opened the screen door. The food is here along with 2 hungry men. Chase invited me to join you. I have hope for this day to happen. We have so much that can be done to help everyone. Now that the 4 of you are here, can we sit? Carlson said, you are welcome, but is the handgun needed? Everyone carries a sidearm on this part of the farm on the parts that are far from here. You 4 will too. Make it a habit and be prepared. Rafe indicated 2 chairs for Reed and Chase to use. None of us have fired a gun at a man. It will not be a problem. You will know what is to be done, and each of you know how to do it and what you should do next. If next is also needed, and next after that too, until there is no longer a next to be aware of or need to act on. Chase said you have plans to build pens to help us handle the cattle. To say that I'm interested will be an understatement. I'd rather talk about that than anything I can think of. We have plans about starting. The measurements and other important aspects need to be calculated as construction is done. Will you please tell us more? Catch pens need to be built to bring the herd to different selecting points. Grown cows cannot be worked with bulls or young bulls, or steers or heifers, or cows with calves. All of them will need to be separated and go into separate pastures when we are finished with them, and turn them out from where they are being held after the work is on. What D is there? Okay, got to rid that thing of that. Dink. After the work is done on them. What does held for the work to be done mean? I'm lost. This is the first home-cooked meal we've had since we left the home place. I intend to enjoy it. You need to look at the drawings and let us explain how they are put together to build contiguous pens and gates, and how they will allow work to be done on the cattle herd. We will do that after we finish this meal. I want to compliment the women who prepared it. This is a mighty good meal. I look forward to having more in the days to come. How long do you plan on staying? Chase wants all the farms to have pens built. Papa sent posts and boards, tools, and building materials. I imagine he has plans to do the same when we tell him where we will build next. You are talking like you will do the work. I can't allow one of you to be injured. Carlton shook his head. We will do as much work as we wish to do. Nobody has responsibility for one of us except one of us. The project we will begin working on tomorrow is ours. We will manage and we will supervise. You will not see Papa for a few weeks. You will see us every day until we leave to visit home and come back to do more. Rayford did not say anything to me about this project. Did he need to? Does he need to know? I have been in charge of this part of the farm since before you were babies. You still are, but we are not babies now. I have to see Rayford about this. If you leave without a Coleman instructing you, consider your association to be at an end. Papa talked about something like this happening. His instructions are binding. You will be acting in a manner against his wishes if you go to him. Do I need to say more? Reed stood up and pushed the chair away with his lower legs. I am duly shown my place, but I am not required to stay here and be insulted. It will be in your best interest to not only stay, but be thankful you are invited. Nobody commanded you to come. Nobody talked about your role being reduced. You made a bad assumption. We will improve the farm in so many ways, but nobody is diminishing your position. It is not needed, or is it? That is for you to decide, while you keep in mind that you are with the future owners of all Papa Holes. Please, pull the chair back and stay with us. That will serve us all well. Then I really don't understand. Did you fully understand what Papa gave you when you came here, or was it your position and responsibility to build this farm that gave you the liberty to follow your own plans? Nothing is changing unless you force it to be done. That will be completely unwise on your part and not needed for us. I suppose you're right. I'm curious about the project. What is the estimated time needed to complete it and have it ready for us to use? Chase looked across the table at Bryce without showing expression. He turned his head to look at Rafe when he said, that is to be based on the number of men we will have to work on it. We will know the answer in the morning. How many men do you have for the project? I can only bring men who are not contributing much to the work being done everywhere on the farm. They are all strong, but only 16 men. Reed took the last morsel of food from his plate. 16 men will barely make a start. If what I believe is true, from what Rafe told us, the catch pen will funnel to several other pens. 16 men will barely make a dent in the work and is needed to be completed, that is needed to complete just the beginning. If we stop doing the work that we have been doing on the cattle, and those 66 men are doing the work that we have been doing on the cattle, and those 66 men are well supervised, the work will advance much faster, and we will have the pens to use instead of herding the cattle and catching them individual stock to work. It is tedious work. What you are suggesting will save the men and the horses if it functions as you hope. Reed finished eating. If everyone will please bring your plate and utensils to the kitchen, we can have them washed, dried, and put away in a few minutes. Carlton followed Rafe. I'll lay out the drawings to allow them to look at them and come back to help. Nathaniel pulled Clayton near him. Go with Carlton and stay with Reed and Chase when he comes back. Answer their questions while we help with the dishes. But do what we talked about before. Let them imagine they are able until all their questions are answered. Rafe watched the others leave the kitchen and gave Nathaniel a plate to dry. How will Clayton know what to answer? Okay. Wow. We made drawings from what we discussed, but we went farther than what you and Carlton had planned. We connected the catch pins, the chute, and the separator, and the chutes leading out of the separator that will take the animals to the gates. We also configured the pastures the different cattle will be released into, but without specific measurements. We designed a shelf that the men moving the circled separator will walk on, push the separator. 3 men on each side will move partitions to move the cattle. How do you intend to have the men move the separator? The walk will be above and outside of the fence that forms the separator. A wire attached to the center post will support the single separating partitions and turn with the partitions. The partitions must not be more than a few inches above the floor of the separator to prevent injuries to the legs of the cattle. I hope you made copies. 8 sets. We will start early tomorrow morning, but we will not move more than a few feet from each other, and nobody will ever stand between us. We will make that known tonight and practice the methods that will be required during the days to come. Make our efforts collective and habitual, without deviation. We must each report our efforts to Papa individually. Our mothers are still insisting that he should keep us near them and safe from harm. We must continually remain safe from harm. Together we will, and each of us will be able to convince him that we remain vigilant and safe from harm during all the hours we are not protected by the family community. Hang on just a second. I gotta look at this because I'm just finished chapter 2. Okay. I'm going to stop there and I'll make another joining probably tomorrow. At any rate, a offer, if you will. I have 31 eBooks. Some are portions of a story. Some are like Kinsman Tribe. It's done in 2 parts because it's long. Rafe Coleman, Rayford Coleman, Civil War veteran, and Rayford Coleman, Texas cattleman, are really the same story done in 2 parts. The same is true of Joshua Kramer. His story and his son's story of the Kramer family is done in 3 parts. Joshua, Joshua's Way, and Jewella Crossing. Jewella was a love interest of Heath, one of Joshua's sons, youngest son, and her demise and whatever. But anyway, please subscribe to my channel. It does not hurt your computer. It's only done on the page for YouTube. Then like it, please. The algorithm picks up those likes and the subscriptions and the likes. It also picks up comments. It also picks up when it's been shared. It does all that with AI. And the algorithm is changed constantly. What is true one day is not true the next day, or so on, whatever. But at any rate, if you want a book, send me an email. You can see my email right there, ron7560444@yahoo.com. Send me an email telling me which book you want. I will send you an email back with an attachment that is the text of that book. When you have read it, or when you decide you don't want to read it, two things. Either you send me the money that we agree to, probably $5.99 for the first book, $6.99 for the remaining books. If you want them, that's the way it will be done. You can send a check if you like. Most banks now have Zelle, Z-E-L-L-E. It is a digital transfer from one account to another. The problem with it is once it's done, nothing can be done with it. You should not send money through that application to someone you do not know. It's not a good practice. I've done it. And anyway, it's one of those things. Now, Zelle is only for the United States. You can't go overseas. But at any rate, it's done by email to email. The email that is associated with your account is used to send it to another email that is associated with the account you're sending the money for. And so it's just email to email, account to account, and it's automatic. It's right now. It's digital. It's AI. So much of our life now is AI. Even what I just did. AI on this computer, AI on that phone. And so the artificial, whatever it is. But at any rate, please subscribe to my channel, hit the like button. Thanks for being with me. Appreciate your time. Hope you enjoy. Okay, we're going to get out of this.